I was a single mom for 10 years, okay?
So you know what that life was like.
I was big dog long enough.
At what point did you realize I got something?
When Cash App shut me down.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, girl.
I hit a very high number with Cash App, and they were like, oh, you're making a lot of money. You need to change this into a business account.
What was it like, or when did you realize and see that your account, you have now become a millionaire?
Yeah, when I made that first million, that was a game changer.
Welcome back to another episode of Say Something with Cheré, where we tell life-changing stories and have impactful conversations. I am your host, Cheré, but y'all already know that because y'all tune in on a regular. Today I have a guest with me who is going to talk about how she went from being a stay-at-home mom to an actual CEO. Not only that, a millionaire. Yeah. She developed her own product, and I really wanted to get in her business and talk about this story. So help me welcome Courtney Smith. Hey, Courtney.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm excited. You know, we love to talk about millionaires. Not only that, we love to talk about Black women in leadership. Black women in leadership is on the rise. We've been talking about that all season. And so to hear that you just got busy in the kitchen, in the lab, it was like the flick of the wrist, and you came up with a whole product.
Yes.
And shot you all the way up to being a millionaire. So you are the founder and CEO of KaRena Curls, right?
Yes, I am.
And tell me how, I know we talked on the phone, you told me the story, but let's tell them, how did KaRena Curls come about?
Okay, so a little background about me. I'm a licensed esthetician. I've been in the beauty industry 4 years, okay? I knew from the time I was about 15, 16 that I wanted to do something with beauty.
Okay.
So once I graduated, I went and got my certification for aesthetics.
Where did you graduate? Were you in Atlanta?
Yes, I went to the aesthetic school, Hogan's Aesthetic School of Esthetician.
Oh, okay. My daughter went to Elaine Sterling, so I'll be thinking I know. I don't know a lot.
Yeah. I checked out Elaine Sterling, but it was too far from.
Oh yeah, considering. Yeah.
But Hogan Institute was close to me, and it was great because they worked with my schedule. So I went there, graduated, opened up my own day spa.
Oh.
Yes, loved it. I knew from an early age that I wanted to work for myself, be my own boss, have my own schedule. So did that, and then I met my husband.
I'll talk about the husband, honey, because the husband plays a big part in this, y'all, about how she became a millionaire. Talking about being equally yoked and get that partner that's going to support you.
Absolutely.
So you met your husband, and what year did you get married?
I got married in 2018, but I've been with my husband since 2015.
Okay.
Yes. So, and he's a chemist. So it all comes together. But after having my day spa for several years, we decided that, okay, I'm going to stay at home and focus on the kids. We wanted to grow our family. Okay. So I kind of put that on the back burner and was just really focused on being a mom.
Okay.
Focused on being a wife. And I was enjoying it. I'm not going to lie.
When did you close the day spa? Immediately after you got married?
Before I got married.
Oh, wait a minute, girl.
Before I got married, because you have those serious conversations, you know. And
because you guys were already dating for 2 years. Okay.
Yeah, we had already been together for 3 years at that point. So he was like, once we get married, I just really, we wanted, to have another baby, and I wanted to be a mom and a wife. I was a single mom for 10 years, okay?
Oh, so you know what that life was like.
Yeah, I was ready for the soft life. I was big dog long enough, okay?
Love that.
So fast forward, 2020, we had KaRena.
Okay.
And she's our blessing. She came after many trying times, I should say.
Oh, okay.
With having her. And then she came 3 weeks before the shutdown, before COVID.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So you already had miscarriages and stuff?
Yeah, I had a stillborn, I want to say 2017. So all of that played a part. When you have stuff like that happen, you're like, okay, what can I do? Even though it's not your fault, but stress plays a part. Just being busy. Yeah. So we knew, okay, we want to have a family. Let's get serious.
So let's focus.
Let's eliminate some of the stress.
Yeah.
And thankfully, my husband, not to brag or anything, but he's very, very successful.
If you don't brag on your girl, if you don't brag on your husband.
So I was able to sit down comfortably.
Come on, and he was okay with that.
He was okay with that. And then we had Christina.
And she came early. She came running in the world.
Yes, she came a little early and was perfect, came in, she was about 6 pounds. Okay. She was only like 3, maybe almost 4 weeks early. But she had cradle cap and eczema so bad. Like, when they first come home, you see the skin, coming off or whatever, peeling. So I'm like, okay, this is normal.
Yeah.
And then by week 4 or 5, I'm like, okay, that's
when you see it.
Like, I would take her clothes off and it'll just be everywhere. And she had the most beautiful hair, okay? But her scalp was just a mess. So
we know how cradle cap, it's all in their head, it's matted, and you can only scratch but so much to try to get it up.
Yes, and so her 6-week checkup, I took her to the pediatrician, and I was like, what can I do? And they're like, oh, nothing, this is common, you just gotta ride it out. A week passed, it's getting worse. So I'm like, well, let me go to a dermatologist.
Yeah.
Let me, see someone. Went to the dermatologist. It was for adults.
Okay.
They didn't want to do anything. They were like, I'm going to refer you to someone else. Referred me to another dermatologist for children. And that dermatologist gave me some ointment. So I'm like, okay, this may work. Mm-hmm. So I remember giving her a bath that night, and I pulled the ointment out. And I was like, let me just look, because I'm an esthetician. Yep. So ingredients, I'm like, let me look at, the ingredients. What's in it? Horrible.
Mm-hmm. Like most things.
Horrible.
Yep.
I was like, I'm not.
Was it a steroid too?
It was a steroid. And I'm like, at this time, I think she was not even 8 weeks yet, like getting ready to turn 8 weeks. And I was like, I am not putting this on my baby.
Yeah. So
I was talking to my husband, and I was just so frustrated. I'm like, nobody's giving me any answers. Mm-hmm. She's, not in pain, but was always scratching, always just irritable. And then he said, well, why don't you just make her something? And it was like a light bulb went off.
And now, are we in COVID?
We're in COVID.
We're in COVID, yeah.
We
she
are
was born
dead
3
in
weeks.
COVID, yes. And that played a big part, too, because, you're so scared of everything. Like, I don't want to keep taking her to these doctors, exposing her. But when he said that, it was like a light bulb moment. Mm-hmm. He was like, why don't you make her something like this is what you do? Because when I had my day spa, I had my own product line.
Oh, okay. So you're not new to products?
Not at all, but it was children. So I just completely was not thinking about, I can formulate something for children.
Yeah.
Since my area of expertise were for adults. Yeah. But girl, I pulled out my books and I got to work.
Because Mama Bear came out.
Mama Bear came out. Yeah. Mama Bear came out. And it's so funny because my husband's always like, you have this business because I gave you the brilliant idea. So I have to give him his credit.
Got to give him his credit. He didn't do the work, but thank you for planting the seed.
Yes,
Visionary.
Definitely planted the seed. And since we were doing COVID, everybody was on social media.
Yeah.
So I was constantly, posting before and afters. And this is what I'm using on her and posting her hair. And I mean, now her hair is like to her bottom. She's 4 years old. Crazy. I'm so jealous.
Let me get some.
Yeah, I'm
so what did you try before you started your own? Like, even though you didn't like the prescription that they were giving you, but did you try any other methods at home?
I tried Aquaphor.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I tried the Vaseline. I tried this wet method where it was crazy, where you would wet gauze and wrap the babies in them and then put the pajamas on them and let them sleep in it overnight. That was horrible.
Oh, I never
did that. She was miserable. And then my grandmother, I hope they don't call defects on me for this. She told me to put a little bit of bleach in the baby water, and I'm like, I don't think we can do that now, Grandma.
Put bleach on her skin. I might as well use the cream from the doctor.
Might as well. So I tried a few things.
Yeah, my daughter was born with eczema also, and it was all steroids. And she's 25 to this day, but I remember doing oatmeal baths when she was younger. Did that. Avena was supposed to be the healing mechanism for her eczema. Then they said she was allergic to nickel, so I stopped using silverware in the house for her and bought her all plastic. The button on her jeans, that was nickel, so I would go and buy patches to sew them inside because her stomach was ate up so bad. And when I tell you, it was just one steroid cream after the other, and while it cleared it up, it just still kept coming back. So she has scars to this day, but I feel you. I couldn't think of nothing to make. I mean, other than so your grandmother said bleach. My grandmother said put some blessed oil. If you know anything about blessed oil, so I put that in her water. Now, olive oil with the touch of Jesus being blessed, it actually worked. It helped calm her down, but Aquaphor, I've been through all of that, child. It just,
and not saying that it wouldn't help temporarily.
Right.
But it would always come back, and it came back with a vengeance. It'd be like, okay, it'll work for a short period of time, and then it would just stop working completely. Over a few days. So
how did you start? Like, what was the first ingredient that you knew, like, okay, I got to get her skin together as an esthetician, and your husband being a scientist or chemist, right?
He's a chemist. Mm-hmm.
He's a chemist, so I'm sure that's why he wants all the credit, Christina, because he did more than just plant the seed. I'm sure he had to come in there. What was the first ingredient that you knew she needed?
Mango butter. That is literally in about half of my products.
Mango butter.
Because it penetrates the skin. It penetrates the skin.
It don't just sit on top of the skin.
It does not sit on top. And it worked.
What?
It worked. Now I have it in my creams and my hair and body butter. That is like a key ingredient.
So are you still making products just for babies, for the children?
Yes, that's my focus because it works. And adults, they tend to, look at what the doctor tells them a little more. Like,
sure.
If the doctor would have given me the steroid, I probably would have used it. I probably would have used the cream for me. But for the children, it's like, okay, let me take a more holistic approach. Now, I do have a lot of adults who use our product.
I was going to say I would use it in my house if it was for the baby. We're going to all use it.
Yep, I do have a lot of adults who use our products. So, but yeah, I love, and it's my purpose. It's my why.
Yeah, you found yourself.
When I'm grinding it out, I'm like, I'm helping somebody else's child.
Say that. You healed your baby, and now you get to help other women that are frustrated all over with their babies, because that's our pride and joy. We got to make sure our babies are good.
Yes.
So we got mango butter. Now, that's for the skin, but she also had eczema. Mm-hmm. Is it 2 products, or are we using the same?
So my first 2 products was a body wash, and then I had the butter. The third product was the hair and scalp oil.
Okay. Now, what's the first ingredient that you thought of there?
Castor oil.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because her hair was thinning from the cradle cap, so I was like, I got to thicken my baby's hair up. So to this day, that is still, it's in the shampoo, it's in the conditioner, it's in the hair and scalp oil. That's like my staple ingredient for hair.
And it's not heavy?
No.
Because everything else
based on the ratio that I use,
Okay, so now you created this amazing product, and you actually see it working on your own baby. Mm-hmm. At what point did you decide to say, I need to package this up and sell it?
I didn't.
No?
People started reaching out to me. Like, I would just be posting the pictures, and the first girl, she DM'd me on Facebook, and she was like, can you make me some? I'm not in Georgia. I think she was in Chicago. And she was like, I'll send you a Cash App.
Oh.
Can you make me some? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can bottle it up. At this time, I didn't have any material or anything. So I just went to Hobby Lobby, got a jar and bottled it up, paid, sent it off, paid for shipping, sent it off. And people just started messaging me.
Just from posting pictures. Now, of course, it's in the pandemic season. Everybody's online.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to stay healthy and stop putting things in their body and on their body. So you just got the DM, and then it just started coming more and more and more.
Yes.
What was that feeling like?
I still, at that time, I didn't think it was going to be what it was. I just felt like, I'm helping people in a time of need. Mm-hmm. At that time we were all like, how can I help you?
Yeah.
It wasn't even about the money. I think I was charging them what I was paying for the ingredients. Yeah, and for the product. It wasn't, I didn't look at it as a business at that time.
So at what point did you realize I got something?
When Cash App shut me down.
Oh. Wait a minute.
So, yeah, about almost 5 months into it, I hit a very high number with Cash App, and they were like, "Oh, you're making a lot of money. You need to change this into a business account."
Okay.
They shut my Cash App down. So at that time, I told my husband, and he was like, "Well, why don't you get a website?" You know, and I'm like, "But then that's gonna make it a real business."
It's gonna make it. Then you gotta work. You just was trying to do the soft life. Now you didn't try to put you back. Now you're an entrepreneur. Now you back to work.
Back to work.
But you loving this though.
I do. It doesn't even feel like work.
No, I'm sure.
It doesn't even feel like work.
So now we got 3 products online. We got kicked out by Cash App, but you decided now you just go ahead and do the website, get the business account, and
yeah, I got the website. I had my website up that August because it was right before my birthday. I remember that, and it took off. It took off. I posted and I started. So my husband was like, "Well, what are you going to call it? You know, you have a website now," and I was like, "Christina's Curls." I'm going to call it Christina's Curls. The name just came to me. It wasn't.
you didn't overthink it.
No, it just came to me. I was like, "Well, it's for Christina, you know, Christina's Curls."
Your story reminds me of something that we say a lot, right? Just do it. The money will come, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you're doing it for the money, you're going to find yourself overwhelmed, stressed out, trying to do it perfect. But if you just do it, the money will come. And of course, in your situation, you didn't have to worry about money at the time at all. So you definitely was just doing it and just posting because.
Yeah.
And now you get that and you got something, you're servicing a need that's there.
Right.
And you're tapping into, relatable to moms all over this world, okay? So your story just reminds me and encourages me to encourage y'all, all of y'all, okay? Just do it. Just do the work and the money will come and it'll speak for itself.
Yeah.
So now you are, before we get to you being a millionaire, how the sales just took off after the website, the naming, and then you had to go through packaging and setting that all up. Going back to before you met your husband, the chemist, and was able to digress. You had 2 other children, so you got 3 children.
Yes.
Before that, you said you were a single mom for 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
So you were a single mom when you decided to go to esthetician school.
Yes.
So to the mom that's out there, for the audience that's listening, to say like, yeah, she can do that because she had a husband, but this didn't really start when you had you was already grinding.
Yes. It was hard those 10 years. You know, I had a great support system though. My mom lives here. I'm an only child, but I have a lot of family. So I would.
Oh, I'm only child. Y'all get spoiled. Yeah, you had a lot of support, child. My daughter the only child too, and still to this day she's 25. They treat her like she too. Yeah.
Yes.
So are you from Atlanta?
I'm originally from Alabama.
Okay.
But I've been here since I was like 5, so long time. But I just knew I had to do something, you know, because when you're working those jobs, those odd jobs, that's not going to sustain you long.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And I knew if I wanted to have something that was my own, I had to take the necessary steps.
So yeah, going to school and then opening a spa as a single mom, 2 children. So the dream or the goal, what were you thinking when you opened the spa, or when you stepped into aesthetics? You knew it was going to be beauty. You didn't know it would end up being hair care.
My goal was time freedom. I wanted to be able to bring my kids, you know, to work if I needed to, and I wanted to make my own schedule.
I think that's all. That's freedom. That's all of our jobs.
Yeah.
Our goal, our dreams. So you pushed through being a single mom. You told me that your son's father, that breakup was a situation, and one of the things that you remember him saying to you, that wasn't nobody gonna want you with 2 kids.
Yes. He was like, "You got 2 kids, you know." And at that time, I had just found out I had leukemia right after delivering my son. The day he turned 4 weeks old, I found out I had leukemia, and I just was like, what? Like, failed relationship, find out you have this, you know,
this illness. They say is incurable.
Yeah, and I just did not know what was next. But what I have learned is when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, there's no other place to go but up.
That's true.
You know, I was like, okay, we're here. Where do I go from here? You know, so that year of treatment that was challenging. My daughter, I kept my son here because he was a newborn baby, but my daughter, I sent her with her dad because
Okay.
at this point I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know,
Right.
I'm sick. You know, I wasn't working. Again, I had my mom's support. Like she held
That's a
it
blessing.
down. But I got through that year. And my daughter was 10, or she was getting ready to turn 10. So she was older, and that was a great time for her to be with her dad.
Yeah.
She had never just solely lived with him. So I got through treatment for that year, and she came back in the summer, and it was her, me and her, well, it was her, my son, and I for a few months before I met my husband.
Look at there.
Yeah, I met my
So-
husband when my son was 13, almost 14 months old.
Did you call his father, girl, and say, hey, somebody want me and these two kids?
Listen, I just let them see it. I just let them.
Showed them.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my gosh. So I love that. Now your leukemia treatment, do you have that under control?
Yes,
Do you have to
I
go?
do not. I still have to take a pill every day for the rest of my life. But,
A pill is better than 20, 15.
okay. And I'm just thankful that there's something for it.
Yeah.
You know. But it's something that's always in the back of my mind. You know, I still go and get tested they say every 6 months, I go every 3.
Okay. Was that a problem for you when you gave birth to your daughter, the baby?
So with us knowing that we were gonna have a baby, what they had me do was stop the medication.
Okay.
So when I stopped the medicine, I had to go every month to make sure that it was still under control. And they have a medication that you can take when you are pregnant.
Okay.
But I didn't want to risk it, you know, if I didn't have to. So everything was good with her.
That is
Everything was good.
Good. So we went through all of that in life. You done turned out still in the beauty industry, in skin though,
Yes.
and then doing it for children, which that's the number 2 thing, right? They say people invest in their pets and their kids.
Yes.
So you hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
So tell me what it was like the first, you know, for those of us that can't wait to be multimillionaires and things. What was it like, or when did you realize and see that your account, you have now become a millionaire?
Yeah, when I made that first million, that was a game changer.
What?
I was like, little me.
It's go
Christina's
time.
Curls. And it was just so, I don't know, just fulfilling because like I know I say this over and over in all of my interviews and just talking to people. I never set out to start a business. And I really, truly feel like that's part of the reason it was so successful.
Yep.
Was because I kept my eye on the why.
That's good.
You
That's
know,
good.
and just delivering good products, making good products, communicating with my customers and the mothers and seeing what is your need.
Yeah.
You know, what do you guys want me to create? Because by this time I had Christina's under control.
Yeah.
So now it was different things, different products that mothers were saying, you know, can you make this? Can you make that? And I'm like, okay, let me get in the lab and see what I can do. But that first million, baby, that changed the game.
What?
I felt unstoppable at that point.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
I felt unstoppable because people will tell you in business, the first million is the hardest.
It's hard. Yep.
Once you do that, you have the formula now. You're like, okay, this worked, this didn't work. This marketing worked, this didn't work. So let's take this and multiply it by 10.
Get the ball rolling. What is your vision going forward for Christina's Curls?
My vision going forward is to really dominate retail. You know, I feel like I've been playing it small because every new level is new challenges.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
so being in a position where I didn't have to work and it wasn't like, oh, I got to start this business. I got to get my family out the hood. You know, I have to be real with myself and say, okay, if I take it to the next level, do I really want the work and the stress that comes along with it? Is it worth it? You know? But 2025, we are going into retail stores.
Okay.
Yes.
It's worth it.
It is.
Because the purpose is still there.
Yeah.
It's still all about the purpose. Now, would you have Christina, is she modeling? Is she the ambassador for the brand?
She is. She is all over social media. She loves photo shoots.
Okay.
I mean, she's like, she saw me getting dressed and she's like, am I going? I want to take pictures. So she loves it.
Oh, you should have brought her.
She loves it. And everywhere we go, you know, people are like, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. And she's like, it's Christina's curls.
Okay.
I have a business. And I'm like, okay.
Not just a billboard, honey. She's a talking ambassador.
Yes.
She's the marketer.
Yes.
And they're
she
going to buy
is.
just because.
She is. So, but yeah, that's my plan, is just to keep growing and just really get our brand out there.
I love that. Now, you said something else when we were talking on the phone that I really love. Your team, when you started to build a team, when you realized, okay, I cannot do all this. I don't even want to do all this. You started to build a team, and your team consists of all women.
All women.
Girl
All women.
power.
Yes. And after we talked, I thought about it. All women, and all of them are mothers except for my daughter.
Oh, yeah,
my
of
older,
course.
my 21-year-old. She, you know, when she's not in college, she helps. But all of them are mothers. And I purposely hire all women.
Okay.
Because I want to be that safety for them when it comes to their children, and being able to adjust their work schedule. Their, you know, if their kids are out of school, you're still getting paid, and enjoy your day with your child, you know, or if you want to bring them, or my baby is sick, but I got to choose between staying at home with them when they're sick or coming to work to pay the bills. No, we're not gonna choose. We're not choosing work over our family and our children here.
Love that. I love to change the game. That is definitely one of the things that will hold women back from doing stuff. As you hear, people are like, I don't have a babysitter.
Yeah.
My child is sick. And then you were in the middle of COVID when you first started. So you really get it coming out of that. It's like, how do I help the next woman be successful, even though you have children? Because it can truly feel like, dang, I should have never had kids. I should have waited. But no, children are a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
So I love that you do that for them. That's amazing.
Yeah. I love my team. They hold it down.
Girl, and you can say that about them too. They holding it down with the kids on the hip.
Yes.
Still getting it done.
Yes.
I love that. I appreciate what you do for women. I don't have any babies, but I'm definitely gonna be out there telling y'all need to go follow her, grab some of this ointment that she got, because we can use it on us too, on our skin. Okay.
Yep.
Mango butter is the #1 ingredient. I need it, and that means that it must smell real good. So even with the eczema, because the scents are not good, but that's just a natural
It's
scent.
a natural scent, yeah. It's fragrance free. We don't, no fragrance.
Honey. I think we're going to insert a video or a picture right about here. This is Christina, and we can see her hair, and we can see how cute and beautiful she is. And so you guys go check it out. And what's the page? What's your Instagram page?
Christina's Curls _.
Okay, Christina's Curls _. Now, before I let you go, I want you to talk to that mom. I would say a single mom, but I also want you to talk to that mom who's at home, because we feel like sometimes the soft life is everything. Or we feel like being in a household with a husband, that woman has everything, but she can still be dying inside, because there's things that she wants to accomplish and still go after, and she may feel like, well, I'm a good mom, I'm a good wife, and that's all that matters, but she's still dying inside. I want you to talk to both of those moms and encourage them. This is your camera over here. Encourage them to do what God has put inside them.
Absolutely. So when I talk to women, I always tell them that it is possible to have it all. You can have the career, you can have the business, you can be a great mom, you can be a great wife. It's all about discipline, and it's all about timing. Timing is everything, because maybe you can't start that multi-million-dollar business with a newborn, but you can start laying the groundwork for it, start doing the research, start, researching your competitors and just seeing what direction you really want to go in. But always, always, always go with what's in your heart, your purpose, your passion. That's what's going to fulfill you. Absolutely.
That is so good. And that is so true. You may not be able to do the big thing, but just start laying the groundwork.
Yeah.
Start brain dumping. Get your ideas out there, what you want to look like. Who are your competitors? What is your why?
Right.
That part. Christina, I'm not Christina. God, dog. Courtney, let's see your daughter. I should have brought her here. She could have been in there. We're going to have Christina next time, y'all. Courtney, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I'm so excited for you and Christina and your other daughter that's 21. You're showing them that you can have it all, and that is important. That's what we need to know. You don't have to choose one or the other.
You do not have to choose.
And struggle is not our story. I think that we get stuck in that as Black women. as Black people, we get stuck in the struggle, but it's like, no, I can have it all. If I can think it, I can achieve it.
Absolutely.
Listen, until the next time, we encourage you to say something.